Donald Trump fails the baseline test of character. Can we put up with someone and can we offer them our vote and support when we know that that person not only sounds like what he presumes and presents as a playboy, but it's a sexual predator? This is so far over the line that I think we have to recognize we wouldn't want this man as our next door neighbor, much less as the inhabitant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Look, here's our humiliation. Multiple levels of humiliation. E.J. Dionne of the Washington Post, a liberal, is looking at cultural conservatives in this country saying, well, who's ruining the culture now? You guys ran against the cultural left for the kind of coarseness and crude language that's now being celebrated by many supposed cultural conservatives. I will simply say they're not true conservatives, but nonetheless, there it is. We deserve every word of that rebuke when we see what's going on here. Let me just give you some good news and bad news. Here's the humiliation. A significant number of evangelicals are being deluded, maybe deluded themselves. They are demonstrating a lack of discernment that is staggering, just in terms of this presidential election. That's the bad news. There's even worse news behind that. Look, part of this is because, and this is why I have to break it down in the media, because the media, and they're as stunned as we are, and they're looking at us, but here's the deal. The social scientists, the political scientists, the media, they have very few religious categories. They have now secular people, the nuns as they call them, and then they have Jews and Roman Catholics and evangelicals. So basically, if you're not Jewish or Catholic, then so far as the political scientists are concerned, you're an evangelical. Mainline Protestants are now so thin on the ground, they really don't even count anymore. And so we've taken refuge in that because we believe that our numbers were massive. And so Christianity Today and the whole evangelical mega complex has said, look, we represent millions and millions and millions of Americans because just look at election cycle after election cycle. Well, guess what? Evidently, they were not biblically and theologically defined. But we knew that. John has been pointing that out for years. I mean, the gospel according to Jesus just by itself, demonstrated the fact. This is not all what it looks like. We've counted on cultural Christianity as giving us kind of a buffer. We never really thought it was defined by the gospel. We never really believed it was defined by the scripture. And guess what? Now it's showing up with a vengeance. So even the liberals, a liberal website ran an article trying to explain this phenomenon to fellow liberals, not to us, but to fellow liberals. And so they asked the question, who are the evangelicals who are voting for Donald Trump? And the subtitle of the article was, the evangelicals who don't go to church.